Welcome. Today I'll be summarizing and sharing my thoughts on the daily readings for October 5th in a little time for myself and courage to change. We'll begin with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Start with a little time for myself. October 5th, I will take a moment to read it silently. When I read this page, I feel like it's about control, accepting that I have no control, and being grateful, actually, that I have no control, except for myself, my actions, my thoughts. Being, I was going to say confident, but more like feeling capable of managing things that happen in my life. The question of the day is, how do I show trust in myself today? How do I show trust in myself today? Maybe taking the time that I need to think things through, being calm and serene, by not saying negative things about myself, and if something does slip out, immediately changing the wording so that it's not negative. What really helps me do that is when I say something, I think about whether I would feel comfortable saying that to a friend or a loved one, like a family member, I mean, because obviously a friend is a loved one. But if I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it to someone else, why would I why would I think it's okay to say it to myself? I'm only smiling because it took me a really long time for that to make sense to me. And better late than never, for sure. Better late than never. It's interesting because part of the way I show trust in myself is by having a solid relationship with my higher power. There's someone walking by the house. But he looked like he was lost or something, and then I realized he was walking a dog, which makes more sense. But I didn't recognize him, and I recognize a lot of the people who walk by. In any case, by having a strong relationship with my higher power, that actually helps me to trust myself, because because I feel like it's almost a oneness, me, my higher power. I also feel, if I may get a bit existential, that in a way we are all part of a great oneness. And that actually helps me a lot when I think of compassion and love and those kinds of things. But I think that's how I show trust in myself today. How do you show trust in yourself today? Switching over to Courage to Change, October 5th. I'm going to take a minute to read this to myself. This is good. So I'm going to read the quote. It is an Ojibwe Indian saying. Sometimes I go about pitying myself, and all the while I am being carried across the sky by beautiful clouds. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. This reading is about being grateful and being positive. Being aware of whatever I'm feeling, but challenging my negative thoughts and striving to find something that I can be grateful for within the challenge. To look for the positive in everything I do and see. In doing so, I may notice that the most difficult times in my life have produced the most wonderful things. So to strive, it suggests striving to replace a negative attitude with a positive one in some part of the day. And this is something that I feel I'm pretty good at. I am a very grateful person. Very grateful. Gratitude is a huge part of my life. And when I find myself thinking negative things, the first most important thing is to catch myself doing it, and then to figure out what I want to do with that thought. Is it valid? Am I just being a brat? Is there some good in it that will make me feel better to focus on? It all depends on the situation. There is a lot to be said for finding the good, somehow finding the good. And it's obviously much better in certain situations than others. When I was in the most difficult, challenging time with my son's substance abuse, I was grateful for the support that I had, which at the time did not include Al-Anon till 2013. But before then, I did have a lot of professionals involved, and I really relied on them because I didn't know Al-Anon existed. It's part of the reason why I do this. So, great reading. I don't have any marks on this page, but I'm a big supporter of seeing the good. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.